What's going on, guys? JPP Duel here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Thursday. And for today's match, we have a Prank Kids versus a branded Despia, with my opponent playing branded Despia going first. Now, before we go into the whole gameplay, I would like to apologize for not being able to upload YouTube videos for the past 2 days, or even not being able to stream for the past 3 days. It's all because of the festive occasion for us Indians that came up. It was basically a Diwali plus a New Year's celebration. So first of all, happy Diwali to all you guys and happy New Year's from us Indians as well. Even though we do celebrate New Year's on January 1st, this is sort of like a mini festive occasion for us. So that's the whole reason why I could not get the YouTube videos done or even stream. So I hope you guys understand. And with that being said, let's get on with today's gameplay. Now it looked like my opponent is pretty bricked. He sets down one card in the back row, one card in the main monster zone, and passes his turn over. Now if you are in a situation like this, you want to try and see how many cards the opponent is running into their main deck list. Looking at this, he's running 43 cards in the main deck list. This does not give us any information because sometimes these guys could be running 60 cards in the main deck list, and from that we can glean into what they could be playing. We could speculate into what they could be playing. Even the extra deck you might want to check out sometime or another, because 15 cards again is a generic thing. You cannot speculate anything off of this, but sometimes they might be running 7, sometimes they might be running 1. It would allow you to know what kind of deck your opponent might be playing. So with this, we're going to activate the Prank Kids Place first from our hand, search for a copy of Roxy's. Now in this specific situation, you do want to start with the Roxy's as your combo because you started with the Nemesis Corridor in your hand. If the Roxy's goes through, that means you will have a monster banished out from your hand, being the Landseas, and you can go into Colossus to card search lock your opponent. Now if the opponent allows me to full combo, I have enough gas in my hand to kill my opponent this turn completely. So again, it is your call if you want to do it this way, but in my opinion, in this meta, you might want to get the Colossus on the field ASAP if you have an opportunity to do so. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and lo and behold, my opponent instantly resorts to the one and dirty card, Maxi. So since he hit us with Maxi, what I do is I go into battle phase. I was trying to glean more information on what kind of deck my opponent was playing with this play. So I use my Roxy's, bump into the face down card, which turns out to be a Comedy. Now this information is extremely crucial. This lets me know that he's playing branded Despia. Branded Despia, usually they run all gas. They do run hand traps, but the hand traps they run are Ash Blossom Maxi. I have not seen them run Veiler. Gamma would be useless. Nib I can play around somewhat, so I decided I'm gonna start going into my combo. At least I will be able to put a Butler on the field and a Colossus, because Colossus card search lock, it does affect branded Despia players. Even though I'm under Maxi, it will still affect my opponent. So with that, we go off into our Meowmoo. I try to activate Roxy's from the graveyard. I do chain block with my Prank Kids Place as well, but it turns out the card he had set down was a Call by the Grave. Now it's unfortunate because we cannot get a banish off plus another extra draw after the banish because Roxy's does get negated, but this just means that the opponent has given us a card banish himself, a monster banish himself. That means our corridor is now activatable. We can go into our Colossus. So we activate our corridor, we put it on the field. He's going to draw one card, he's going to draw another card once we do put the Colossus on the field. So he ends up drawing 3 cards. I'm okay with that. We set down our Pandemonium and end our turn. The reason to set down Pandemonium is obviously we do want to go into our Weather Washer on the opponent's turn if the opponent allows us to go into our Weather Washer. Weather Washer will make our cards immune to destruction through battle that turn itself. That's the biggest thing. We do not want the opponent to OTK us on his turn. Now he draws a card. The opponent ends up having 6 cards in his hand. He sets down 1 card from his hand. He bumps his Comedy into my Meowmoo. Now again, this is a huge source of information for you. If your opponent ever does this, if they throw a Despia card in the graveyard somehow, that means they have a branded in red in their hand, or they are going to set down branded in red on the field. That is the information my opponent is giving me right now. He's telling me I have branded it ready to set on the field, or I will set it up on the field before I end my turn. So there it is. Before he ends his turn, obviously we go off into our Pandemonium, we go off into our Weather Washer, we're going to activate the Lamseys in the graveyard, chain block with our Prankets Place, and then activate the Weather Washer at the end of the chain as well, not using the Meowmoo. I do not want to use the Meowmoo because I could still recycle the Meowmoo before if I go into my Doodle-Doo to do all kinds of stuff afterwards. So with that, I special out a copy of Fansies. The opponent sets down a card face down in the hopes that I do not OTK him this turn, that on my turn itself. With that, the turn passes over. We go into our draw phase. We draw into Twin Twister. Twin Twister actually is a pretty insane top deck right here. So draw phase, we obviously activate Twin Twister. For this to happen, I need to have the activation on. So I had it on. We pitch our monster from our hand. I do not want to pitch the Thunder Dragon Fusion because Thunder Dragon Fusion is activatable now. Once I get a copy of Dropsies on the field, Thunder Dragon Fusion is online. We could go into Rebutler, we could kill the opponent this turn itself. So with that, we pitched the monster from our hand. Turns out, as I told you guys, the opponent did set down a Branded in red. That's the exact reason why he wanted to get the Comedy into the graveyard. So with this, we know the Chimera is coming up. Now, the best target for the Chimera, if you guys know what it is, let me know in the comment section below. And if not, then you guys are in for a whole lot of pain. Because in my opinion, since this guy has Call by the Grave, he targeted and Call by the Grave my Lamseys in the graveyard. So you see right there, Lamseys is now negated. With this Chimera, he's going to obviously draw 2 cards first. There it is. And he targets one of the worst cards he could target, which is the Colossus. Now, Colossus can prevent its destruction by banishing out a Thunder monster from the graveyard, which obviously we do have. We use the Corridor to go into Colossus, so we can bash out the Corridor to negate the destruction of Colossus. If I was in this guy's position, what I would have done, since I did Call by the Grave the Lamseys, I would have targeted popped the Fansies. If he target pops the Fansies, that means if I go into my Doodle-Doo, my Lamseys in the graveyard will be negated, so I will not get a special on the field. That means I would not get a Dropsies on the field, meaning my Thunder Dragon Fusion in my hand, useless card. That is what I would have done, but again, this guy is targeting one of the worst cards he could target on the field for the pop. So with that, it basically spells the end game for the opponent if he has no hand traps. First of all, we go into our Doodle-Doo, we activate Fansies in the graveyard, chain block with Doodle-Doo, and I'm going to chain block that with my Prankets Place as well, since the opponent does control a monster on the field. Now my opponent chains another Maxi. I mean, come on, man. At this point, are you telling me Maxi is not busted? Come on. So another Maxi we saw. So search for our Prankets Place. I pitch a copy of Dropsies in the graveyard through Fansies and say no to the special summon. I do not want my opponent. I want to give him as less of a draw as possible. So by pitching Dropsies in the graveyard, I now have every single material I need for the Butler combo in my banishment pile plus in my graveyard. This Lamseys right here can attack this turn. So 2k whack is extremely important, which is going to go up to 2.5k now because I did go into a fusion summon. So he draws a card, we're okay with that. We activate Place, we get all of our monsters boosted up, and then start whacking the opponent. He knows it's game, so the opponent just ends up scooping. That's going to be it for today's game, guys. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily Pranket video uploads. If you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JPBduel signing off for today. I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!